Imagine for a moment that you're walking through a dense fog. It's thick, almost tangible, shrouding all the edges of reality in a muffled hush. You see a figure in the distance, indistinct but intriguing, inviting you to come closer. As you approach, it seems to shift, to change. Just when you think you have a handle on its shape, it dissolves and reforms, elusive and mysterious. This is the essence of deception, a mirage of truth that morphs just when you think you understand it. Welcome to the labyrinth of lies. Lying is as ancient as human communication itself, an art perfected over centuries, stitched into the very fabric of our social interactions. It can be as simple as assuring a friend that you're doing fine when you're not, or as complex as an elaborate web spun by a master manipulator. At its core, the act of lying is an exercise in persuasion. It is a psychological dance, an attempt to reshape reality, however temporarily or tangibly, for both the deceiver and the deceived. To understand why we lie, we must first look inward. Much like a stone cast into water creates ripples, every lie we tell sends out waves through our cognitive processes. Our brain, ever the diligent guardian of our persona, weighs the benefits against the potential repercussions. In this intricate balancing act, a lie is born. But why does our brain choose deception? It's a strategy, a tool for survival, honed over millennia. When a child denies stealing a cookie, or an adult embellishes their job title, it is the same core instinct at work: to protect oneself, to avoid punishment, to improve one's standing. The brain treats deception as a method of conflict avoidance. Consider the evasive mist that shields us from the harsh glare of confrontation. Lies provide a temporary shield, a way to control the narrative, similar to how a magician uses misdirection to keep the audience entranced. But lies also serve a more nuanced purpose. They are often about creating connection. When we flatter someone, isn't that a form of lying? Yet, it can enhance relationships, smoothing over awkward edges with a gentle stroke of falsehood. Our minds are storytelling machines, constantly crafting narratives to make sense of the world. Lying is sometimes a byproduct of this storytelling. Each time you recount a memory, your brain doesn't merely retrieve data. It reconstructs scenes, fills gaps with imagination, sometimes altering reality in the process. This malleability means that our brains are, in essence, built to fabricate. We create stories not just to report on the past, but to reshape it, allowing us to reconcile emotions and align our identity with our view of the world. Society, too, has a role in perpetuating deception. Cultural norms often dictate which lies are acceptable and which are taboo. The white lies, the socially sanctioned deceptions, serve to oil the cogs of social interaction, prevent friction, and preserve harmony. They are the subtle perfumes that mask the odorous truth. Yet when cultural expectations press too heavily upon us, the lies grow and twist, becoming burdensome chains rather than fleeting shadows. Physiologically, lying is a demanding act. It requires mental gymnastics, where one must juggle truth and fiction seamlessly. Imagine walking a tightrope, the truth below, the fabricated narrative above. The tension in this act lies in maintaining balance, ensuring that neither foot slips. Our brain is tasked with monitoring this equilibrium, deciding in milliseconds how to respond to external stimuli. The heart rate quickens, adrenaline courses through the veins, and our senses heighten, all part of an evolutionary mechanism designed to handle stress and threat. But here's the thing. Our bodies often betray our lies. The slight hesitation, the micro-expressions flickering across our faces like distant lightning in a stormy sky, these are the unconscious blips of truth. Our brains might weave elaborate tales, but our physiological responses often reveal the underlying tension of deceit. It's the classic poker face conundrum. Can we truly mask our intentions completely? However, in those who lie habitually or expertly, the physiological responses can dampen over time, akin to how a musician learns to play without missing a note. Their brains calibrate the necessary adjustments, reducing the telltale signs that a novice might display. In such cases, the deception becomes almost second nature, the fog permanently ingrained in their perception. In a world where information is currency, we find ourselves constantly navigating a sea of truths and untruths. The digital age has amplified this complexity, where every interaction can be filtered, edited, and curated. Online, identities are as easily constructed as a child's sandcastle, built to withstand the waves of scrutiny until they inevitably erode. In this expanse, distinguishing reality from illusion becomes an ever more challenging task, as deception finds fertile ground to flourish. Yet there is something profoundly human about our capacity to lie. It is a testament to our creativity, our desire for control, and our instinct for survival. It speaks to a core truth, that we are all navigating this mist-laden world, sometimes stumbling, sometimes soaring, but always striving to connect, protect, and reflect. As we drift towards the closing of this contemplative journey, consider this. Lies may be as natural as breathing, but they require energy, thought, and intention. Every lie, no matter how small, taps into a deep well within us, stirring our emotions, challenging our morality, and testing our integrity. What then if we directed this energy elsewhere? Towards understanding, towards empathy, towards the courage to face the truth, even when it is shrouded in fog. Ultimately, the power of truth lies not in its clarity, but in its authenticity. It is the beacon that guides us through the mist, illuminating the path with warmth and sincerity. So, as you step out of the fog and into the light, reflect on the lies you tell, both to others and to yourself. Embrace the complexity of being human, and perhaps in that embrace, find the strength to live more truthfully. As we continue to delve into the fascinating science behind lying, let's explore the cognitive processes that underpin this often complex behavior. The act of lying is more than just a mere fabrication. It's a sophisticated dance between memory, creativity, and the executive functions of our brain. When we lie, our prefrontal cortex, that remarkable organ behind our foreheads, lights up in a flurry of activity. This region is responsible for decision-making and controlling our impulses. In essence, it acts as the conductor of our brain's orchestra, guiding us through the intricate symphony of deceit. Crafting a lie requires the suppression of the truth, a delicate balancing act where the brain must inhibit its natural inclination to tell things as they are. Imagine it as a silent battle within our minds, where the truth and the lie wrestle for dominance. This internal conflict requires a great deal of cognitive effort, which is why sometimes lying can be physically and mentally exhausting. The brain is working overtime, not only to construct a believable narrative, but also to remember the fabricated details, a task that can strain even the most agile minds. Interestingly, the more elaborate the lie, the greater the cognitive load. Those intricate stories we weave demand that our brains juggle a multitude of variables: the setting, the timeline, the characters involved. All of these elements must be kept in check to avoid inconsistencies that could unravel the deception. And then there's the matter of self-control. The ability to lie effectively is often linked to our capacity for self-regulation. This is where the concept of cognitive control comes into play. It's akin to a mental brake system, allowing us to pause, consider our options, and choose deceit over honesty when it seems advantageous. However, this control is not infallible. Stress, fatigue, and even guilt can weaken our resolve, leaving us vulnerable to slips of the tongue or nonverbal cues that betray our intentions. Moreover, there's a social dimension to lying that cannot be overlooked. Our brains are wired for social interaction, and the success of a lie often hinges on our ability to read and respond to the reactions of others. Here, the amygdala, the emotional center of our brain, plays a pivotal role. It helps us gauge the emotional responses of those we're deceiving, and in turn, adjust our behavior accordingly. Skilled liars often have a heightened ability to empathize, to a degree, allowing them to manipulate social situations to their advantage. As we reflect on these processes, it becomes clear that lying is an inherently human trait, deeply embedded in the fabric of our psychology. It's a testament to the complexity of our minds, showcasing our ability to navigate a world where the lines between truth and falsehood are often blurred. In the end, understanding the science behind lying challenges us to reconsider our own relationship with the truth. It urges us to explore not just the lies we tell others, but perhaps more importantly, the lies we tell ourselves. As we continue this journey, let's keep in mind that every lie, big or small, is a window into the human condition, a reflection of our fears, desires, and the ever-present struggle between reality and the stories we construct. As we continue our exploration into the labyrinth of deception, let's delve deeper into the nuanced world of neurobiology. The very structure of our brains has evolved to accommodate the complex social interactions that lying demands. Our prefrontal cortex, the area right behind our forehead, plays a crucial role in this intricate dance. The prefrontal cortex is often regarded as the executive suite of the brain. It's where decision-making, social behavior, and significantly, the orchestration of lies are managed. When we lie, this area becomes a bustling hub of activity, lighting up with the energy needed to construct narratives that diverge from reality. It's fascinating to consider that this same area is responsible for our ability to empathize and plan for the future, underscoring the dual nature of our minds. But why does lying often feel so stressful? The answer lies, quite literally, in the conflict between our prefrontal cortex and another key player, the limbic system. This more primitive part of our brain is where emotions like fear and anxiety are born. When we lie, the limbic system may sound the alarm, warning us of the potential risks involved in fabricating the truth. It's this internal tug-of-war that can make lying feel like a high-stakes gamble. The consequences of this neural struggle reveal themselves in the physiological responses we experience when telling a falsehood. Our heart rate may increase, palms sweat, and pupils dilate. These outward signs are often involuntary, driven by our body's autonomic nervous system. It's as if, despite our best efforts to deceive, our bodies remain tethered to the truth, betraying us in subtle ways. Yet not all lies are created equal, nor do they all leave us in a state of turmoil. The concept of the white lie shows us that some deceptions are more socially acceptable, even expected, within certain contexts. These lies, often told to spare someone's feelings or maintain social harmony, can actually help to strengthen bonds rather than fray them. It seems that our brains are equipped to discern when such lies are beneficial, allowing us to navigate the social complexities of human interaction with greater ease. As we reflect on the science behind lying, we must also consider its implications for our personal and collective lives. Understanding the mechanisms at play in our minds can foster empathy, allowing us to approach instances of dishonesty with a more nuanced perspective. It reminds us that, while the truth may be a constant ideal, deception is an inseparable part of our human fabric, woven into the very essence of our social existence. In recognizing this, we find ourselves at the intersection of biology and morality, where the science of lying not only unveils the workings of our minds, but also invites us to ponder the choices we make and the stories we tell. As we continue this journey of inquiry, let us carry with us the knowledge that, whether truth or lie, our words are powerful forces that shape the world around us.